So you just closed your first client, but what do you do now? Maybe this is your first client. Maybe you have closed clients before, but knowing the process that you take to onboard them, to manage expectations, to communicate, and everything else that is a part of being an agency owner, what do you actually do and how do you do it the right way? So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video. So guys, there are really four main parts to the process that takes place after you close a client, and those being onboarding, managing expectations, communication, and keeping your clients happy. So in this video, we're going to break down each one of those, talk a bit about our own onboarding process, the systems and processes that we use to automate that and make that as efficient as possible. So let's get started with number one, which is onboarding. So let's go ahead and jump in my computer so I can show you guys a bit of the onboarding process that we use and we use to manage clients, onboard them, and automate that process as much as possible. So guys, we're here in my ClickFunnels account. First off, if you don't have ClickFunnels, I would 100% sign up for this if you are an agency owner. Honestly, anything related to digital marketing is very helpful. But nonetheless, the reason we are here in ClickFunnels now is this is where our onboarding processes are built. So let's use our paid traffic onboarding as an example. So after we sign a client, we need a process that brings them into our processes and our systems efficiently, automated, and effectively, to be honest. So this is a bit of what our onboarding process looks like. So they come, we send them this funnel. So we close the client, they're closed, contract signed, they've paid. So what do you do next? So we send them this link to this funnel and they go through and onboard themselves, honestly. So first there's the welcome page, then the expectations video, the ads manager video, their audience, and really everything that we need to run their paid traffic, and then the strategy session at the end. So to give you guys an idea of what this looks like, we'll go ahead and open this up. So we are in our onboarding process now. So when we close a client, we send them this link, they come to this funnel, and this is where the culture of our agency and our systems and everything really starts to take place. So we've already spoke with them, we've closed the deal, they've paid, they've signed their contract, and now they're going to become an actual part of our agency. So we want to make this as nice and professional and really represent our brand as best as possible. So they come to this funnel and we have this welcome bar here up at the top. We have our branding. Everything looks very cohesive to our website and our brand. We all look like it's one machine, right? So they come here and there's this welcome video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vitalis Media. If you're watching this video, it's because you just took the decision to invest in yourself and your business by working with us and becoming a client. This onboarding process that you're about to go through. So when the client comes to this funnel, this should take them 30, 45 minutes and they're done. They shouldn't have to give us images unless they're updating creatives. They shouldn't have to give us copy, access, Facebook Ads Manager access, things like that. This onboarding covers that whole spectrum in a very professional, automated way. So this is the welcome video. They go to the next step. We talk a bit about expectations, like what's next. They watch this presentation. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this step of the onboarding process, and we've got to make sure we set happening, what your numbers look like, what the data looks like, and what. We'll go ahead and send you a link to your own private Slack channel. So you can see we're kind of brushing on a couple things. We're brushing on what they should expect over the next 3 months. That's really what our original contracts are. How we're going to communicate with them, how they can get in touch, how often they should expect to actually hear from us, how we're going to report KPIs and other data because this is our paid traffic onboarding. So just those sort of things, it's very important to actually establish and let them know what is going on. So they continue the rest of the onboarding here. I'll go ahead and blur out our business manager ID here, but it shows them how to set up Facebook Ads Manager. This is difficult, especially if they've never done it before. So for example, a couple of our clients, even our multi-million dollar clients, they're like real estate guys. They don't know how to do Facebook ads or set up Ads Manager. So we set this up or show them how to set this up quickly. It's not a headache. It's very seamless. They're in and out, and then we have what we need to actually do our job. So number 2 on this list of what should you do after you actually close a client, that is setting expectations. I have lost clients before even though we did, and I have an example for you. When I first started my agency, we closed a luxury leather car mat brand. It sounds weird, but it was a really good product, pretty cool brand. We did not leave on good terms. And the reason being was I didn't set expectations properly. So even though we made them like $3,000 in the first week of Facebook ads, they had no data, it was cold, they had never run ads before, $3,000 profit, things looked good. I was like, okay, they're gonna love this is great. I didn't set expectations, and for whatever reason, the communication wasn't there, and we lost that client. They just ghosted us. There wasn't much we could do, and it happens, right? So to avoid that, you need to set expectations with your clients, with your team, and honestly, just everybody in your life. And the way you do that is by communicating with them and actually letting them know what to expect. So like you saw in our onboarding, we say over the next 90 days, this is what you can expect from 0 to 30 days, 30 to 60, and 60 to 90, right? What does that process look like? What sort of KPIs are we going to try to hit? What sort of revenue should you expect? And what is the growth of that? Because obviously it's a process. What should you expect to know things are going well? So we let them know that. We let them know as far as communication, what sort of expectations to expect there. So how often will we be in touch? How do you get in touch? We communicate on a platform or an app called Slack. And I just tell our clients, hey, if you need something, just message in the Slack channel and we'll get back with you as soon as possible. So they don't text me, they don't blow my phone up. It's all there and it's organized. Excuse me. And I let them know, hey, if you message me outside of Slack or you just send me a random email, I won't respond. If they do it once, I'll tell them, hey, like I understand, but keep everything here in Slack, and we kind of set that expectation. So that is probably one of the most important parts of running an agency that a lot of people just overlook and they don't really worry about. And I think it's very important to keep your clients because it's hard to get clients, so you want to keep them around as long as possible. So what is number 3 on this list? Number 3 on as far as what to do after you get a client is communication. How do you communicate with your clients? How do you talk with them? How do you systemize and automate that as well? So let's jump into my computer and I'll show you. So we're back in my computer, and this is what we use for all of our client communication. So I'm sure you guys have heard of this by now. It's very, very popular in the business world and the digital marketing world. But this is a platform called Slack. And this is where all of our communication takes place with our clients, with my team, with any contractors or any sort of processes that we have. This is like our central hub of communication, data, and organizing everything. So to give you an idea, these different channels here are for clients. So this is a private channel. Nobody else is in here except for myself, the team member that needs to be there based on what we're doing for the client and the client themselves. So they can message me whenever they want. We go ahead and communicate with them. It's organized. We have a record of everything that is said, and it works really well. And the cool thing here, we're talking about the onboarding, right? My onboarding responses, so when they go through our funnel and they fill out the forms and they get to the later part of that process, we get an automated message of their response straight into our Slack channel. So my team members have access to this, but so our client, Austin Rutherford right here, I'll probably blur this out because I don't want you guys to see his data, obviously. But he went through the onboarding, he submitted his application or whatever you want to call it, the form, and we got this response. And you can see I said, let's go here. But we got this response, and then my team members get to work with what they need, and they can go ahead and continue their job automatically. So a process that used to take me, I don't even know, a week, 2 weeks to just get everything compiled, the data, the access to things, the logins, the media, the passwords, copy, all these different things, it takes 30 to 45 minutes now, and then it's automatically processed. It's sent to this channel automatically, and then my team members can go ahead and do their jobs based upon what they receive here in this onboarding response. So this absolutely changed the game as far as our systems and processes, and I highly, highly recommend you guys do this as well. This automation is done through a software called Zapier. Really cool. It basically just connects a bunch of different softwares that don't normally integrate, and you can do some really cool things with it. So that is about it as far as the communication aspect. We use Slack. It works well. Again, you can see the onboarding responses. It connects with everything, and I highly recommend that you guys do this as well. So there is one last piece to what do you do once you sign a client that I think is very overlooked and very important. outreach and sales and getting clients is great, and it's very focused on in our community. But something that's even more important that I don't think anyone really talks about is keeping your clients happy. So imagine if you only got a client and they left you a month later, and that cycle it's a vicious cycle. It repeats. You don't have consistent cash flow. You can't really build a business around that. But if, let's say, you close a client and they stay, and then you close another client, and now you have 2, and now you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you can build an actual business, and your revenue will steadily increase every month. And predictability allows you to scale your business with team members, with different infrastructure, and what you can actually do as an agency owner. So how do you keep your clients happy long term? First off, this is common sense, but it's really not that common. Get good results. The easiest way to keep your clients is to get good results for them and perform on what you promised them when you close them. Whether that's ads, funnels, consulting, web design, whatever your service is, make sure you do a great job. Like, focus on the product, or in our case, the service. Focus on that, make it as good as you can, and it will really, really speak volumes to how happy your clients are and the success that they get. They'll talk to other people, it'll bring you referrals, and honestly, it's the pillar of any successful business. Secondly, communicate with them. Let them know like what's going on with their stuff. Let them know how the process is going to go. Right? Keep them in the loop of everything and ask them how they're doing. Like, ask your clients how they're doing. Ask them how the family is. If they go on a cool trip, ask them about their trip. Just become a friend with your client, and it's harder for them to fire you. They're going to be happier, and your relationship is going to be a lot more enjoyable than the other way around. If it was just strictly a work-related thing and it's a business relationship. So me and a lot of my clients are super tight, and I love that. It's enjoyable. Like Austin, the guy with the Rolls Royce, we're tight. He's a cool dude. I'm going on vacation with him later this year in October if my passport comes in. But we're friends, and it's harder to fire your friends. It's more enjoyable, and making money together is honestly the best thing in the world. And that's exactly what we can do as agency owners. So guys, not sure how long this video will end up running, probably 8 or 9 minutes, but this is really the most important things to do after you close a client. Sales, outreach, closing, that's all great, but making sure that you know what to do after you get that client is super, super important. And I mean, I kind of skipped over like your service delivery, but that's common sense. So I didn't really want to touch on that too much, more so on the systems and the processes compared to, okay, you close the client, now you have to perform the service. That's a given. So I hope this helped you guys a ton. I know I've been getting a lot of requests on this one, but and as far as the onboarding funnel, you can kind of copy my funnel a little bit. The people in my upcoming course will get this funnel entirely free, but I can't really just like give it out to you guys now. It took a ton of time for us to build and systemize. There's a lot of moving pieces. So I hope that helped you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and apply these to your agency. I promise if you keep your clients happy, you set expectations well, you have a seamless onboarding, and you look very professional, that it will move your agency mountains compared to not having these things. So go ahead and implement these, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.